Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, a daily podcast devoted to spirituality and self-help. If you're new, I want to welcome you. If you're returning, welcome back. So today I wanted to talk to you about surviving the holidays and just taking care of yourselves. You know, we all think of the holidays as a great time and to be around family, but for a lot of people, the holidays aren't necessarily a great time. If you don't have a family that you're close to or a great relationship with your family, a lot of people have to spend time with their family and they don't necessarily like their family or resonate with them. And that can be quite difficult. It can be emotionally and physically exhausting and draining. Or if your family isn't close, if you're by yourself around the holidays, that can be extremely lonely and depressing. And if you've recently lost a loved one, the holidays can be quite difficult, even if it wasn't recent. I remember when I was 14, my cousin, my aunt's son, was killed in a car accident a few weeks before Christmas. And I remember it was devastating. That was it wasn't the first major loss in my life, but it was the first loss of someone who was young. He was older than me. He was in his early 20s, but that was still whoa. That was my first real realization that not all people live to be old, And so that was really kind of shocking and upsetting. And I know that the holidays are still kind of difficult for my aunt and her family. They get through them, but excuse me, we used to have holiday parties all the time and we don't do that anymore. So we've had to, we used to all get together at my grandma's house, and I don't even know how we all fit in her house because she had a really small house. And there were a lot of us, there were 6 kids and 14 grandkids, and then the spouses and just a lot of people. But somehow we all managed to be in her little house and had a great time. And it was one of the highlights of growing up for me was Christmas. The parties that we would go to, there was always a lot of food and sweets and just different things like homemade cookies. And people would spend, a couple of weeks preparing for this, so that this party ended up being so much fun, just getting to hang out with my cousins. And in fact, I remember this particular cousin who passed away. I remember he and my other they were all male cousins, making fun of my sister and my cousins and I because we were fans of New Kids on the Block. And so that song, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, instead of singing that, they would sing New Kids on the Block Got Run Over by a Reindeer. And we would get so mad, and they would just laugh and think it was so funny because they loved teasing us. And we used to have so much fun. And then after that happened, it was we just kind of stopped having the parties. My mom took over for a while, and we had it at her house, and then 1 or 2 years my cousin did the party, but then it just sort of kind of fell apart, and people started having their own parties at their own house with their own families, and that's what we did too. Now I host it at my house. But, it's supposed to be a fun time, a good time, but for a lot of people, it's not. And there, again, are all kinds of reasons. If you're missing someone, that can be quite painful. Or if you feel like you're alone, that can be painful. The thing that I always think is that family is more about the people that you make your own family. I have some very close friends that we do everything together. We even go on vacation together. And so they ended up coming over to the holiday parties too. It's well, you're now family, so we're inviting you into my family. So if you have people like that in your life, hopefully they invite you. But it's important for you during this holiday season to stay balanced and to take care of yourself. A lot of people forget about that. There's so much to do. People go shopping and everything. And another thing I want to say too is don't go into debt over Christmas either. don't try to feel like you have to keep up with the Joneses and buy your kids so much. And that's the terrible thing, I think, about the holidays now. When we were kids, we didn't have Facebook, so I never saw what my friends got. When we came back from break, then they would tell us. But there was never I'm so jealous I didn't get this or I didn't get that, because I didn't know until we came back. And at that point, I was already too happy with what I had gotten to even know the difference, to be disappointed. And I feel like now there's definitely too much with people on Facebook, like, look what I got. And kids feel like, oh, they have to keep up with everyone else. And parents feel like they have to keep up with everyone else. And so these kids get these extremely expensive gifts. And there are families out there who, they can't even afford to buy their children gifts. If they get anything, it's usually not something, of much monetary value, because they just don't have it. And so then you have kids who feel left out, and that's not what the holidays are about, It's really not. I'm reminded of the episode when I was a kid. I used to love the books and the TV series Little House on the Prairie. I absolutely loved it. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I would love to go back to those days and live. And then they had this show that was a reality show. It was on PBS, and it was called Frontier House. And I was hooked. They sent modern day people back to live like frontier times. And after watching the show, it was a great show. I was like, yep, nope, there's no way I want to go back and do that, because they had to churn their own butter, and they had to milk the cows, and they had to walk 10 miles to the store, just like everybody did back then. And I was thinking, no, I'm good. I can just watch this on TV. But I remember a particular Christmas episode, and it was, of course, based on the story The Gift of the Magi by O. Henry, where the family members, I think Laura wanted to buy her mom an expensive gift, but she didn't have the money, so she sold her horse. And in the meantime, Pa was making this really cool saddle for the horse that she didn't have. It was basically everyone tried to go out and buy these awesome gifts for each other, and they gave up things that, the other people ended up getting them gifts for. And so thereby they were missing the point of the holidays, really, which is just all about being together and being family. And I love that, part of the story was told too in a later episode. Years later, when Laura was married to Almanzo, they had a Christmas episode where they all told stories, Christmas stories, and that was one of the stories that was retold. But it's that is the true meaning, is just getting together and telling stories and laughing and having fun. And if that's not what the holidays are for you with your family, might I suggest maybe not spending as much time there, and creating your own memories. There's nothing that says you can't do that. Last night, my daughter and I decorated our Christmas tree, and we baked Christmas cookies, and we had so much fun. We, asked my son to join us, but his girlfriend was over, so he didn't really have time for that. But I told him, I said, you know what, before Christmas gets here, I still have a lot of baking to do for our Christmas party. And I said, you're going to help me. We're going to do this. He loves to cook, so he was like, oh, yeah, I will do that for sure. But it's about that. It's about making the memories with your kids. My great aunt who just passed away, I think it was 2 years ago maybe, we all got together and baked Christmas cookies with her. And that was one of the things that she always did with us growing up. There's so many pictures of my sister and I when we were little. We were actually standing on a chair in the kitchen because we couldn't reach the countertop. It was too tall. We were standing on a chair, rolling out sugar cookies, and she would let us bake them, and of course let us eat a little bit of it, while we were baking cookies. And I don't care what people say that, oh, that's not healthy. I don't care. Sugar cookie dough is great. I loved it. So she would let us roll that out and cut out the cookies, and there would be Christmas music playing throughout the house. I specifically remember that they would play the Muppet Christmas album. So I love that album. But it was about the memories that we had with her, you know? I mean, the smell of sugar cookie dough reminds me of her, or seeing a rolling pin, or she always had aprons. Like, she would make us homemade little aprons, you know, and sometimes with our names on them or whatever that she stitched that we would wear while we were baking the cookies. And those are awesome memories that I will always have with her. And that's why, you know, I want to do the same thing with my kids. For us, growing up with my mom, it was always decorating our tree. We would play Christmas music or watch a Christmas program on TV like Rudolph or something, and we would decorate our tree. And we all had special ornaments, you know. There would be ornaments that we made in school. Like, I remember one that my mom would put up every year, and it was so ugly, but I remember I made it in first grade, and it was made out of toothpicks, and it was a manger scene, you know, and she would put it out every year, even though I'm like, wow, this is the ugliest thing. But she'd put it out, and there were ornaments people made for her that had pictures of us on them, and of course we put those out. And I have the same thing with my trees, you know. I have ornaments that my kids made in their grade school that have their pictures, and I treasure those ornaments just as my mom, I guess, treasures the ugly toothpick manger that I made. But that's, you know, that's what it's all about. It's about the good times, the memories, the having fun. In fact, and I'll have to post some pictures after Christmas, but my daughter was insistent that this year all of the kids get matching pajamas to wear on the Christmas Eve party. Like, the party's going to be at 5 o'clock, but she wants everyone to be in pajamas. So we bought them matching onesie pajamas, my son and my daughter, my niece and my nephew, and then even I bought a pair for my son's girlfriend, so she could be in on it too. So we'll have pictures of those, but my mom is, of course, laughing so hard, like, what, they're going to wear pajamas? But that's what it's all about, you know, it's making those memories. And hopefully, I'm assuming that these pictures are going to be hilarious. I hope they are. You know, last year, my daughter ended up taking our family photo that we took by the Christmas tree on Christmas Eve, and she cropped her face on every single one of us, and we just died laughing. I mean, just things like that, you know, or things that we'll remember forever. So make your own traditions, even if you have some in your family and say you're not necessarily fond of them, make your own. That's what it's all about. Or if you don't have anything that you really do, start your traditions now. It's all about enjoying the time together and spending time together with the people you love, whether that's your family biologically or family that you've created because it's friends that, you know, you're like family to them. It doesn't matter. Just make your own memories and your own traditions and have your own fun, because that's what it's all about. You know, the time goes by way too fast. I can't believe that my children are seniors this year and they're not, you know, I don't even know if they'll be home next year for Christmas, but I want to make the most of it while they're still here and with me. And you never know what could happen too. I think about, you know, the fact that this year my aunt isn't with us. She's celebrating Christmas in heaven. And that's why it's so important to just cherish those memories, you know. We're actually going to my grandma's tonight. She turns 97 today. And we're going to her nursing home to celebrate her birthday with her. So again, it's about making those memories, you know, while you still have them, because you just never know. A year can change so many things, so cherish them always. And also, be sure to take care of yourself, like I said. If your family is toxic and, you know, they're asking you to be around, I'm not saying don't go over there. You know, sure, I mean, do what you want to do, but maybe you might just try limiting how much time you spend around people like that. And I always tell people, protect your energy before and after you go to a place like that. Like, ask Archangel Michael to shield you with his blue light around you. And then when you get home, clear your energy, because being around people like that can totally drain your energy. It really can. I mean, I think people don't understand the extent to which people have the ability to really just totally deplete you. I mean, they really, really do. It's incredible and crazy the way that happens. But I hope that you find some time this holiday season, even though I know it's going to be crazy busy, that it always is, for you to just relax and do things that you enjoy doing. I was talking to someone else that I work with here, and she said, you know what? Because we were talking about how Christmas Day, we go do this, we go do that, we go to this person's house. And that's true for us. We go to my friend's house and we have dinner with their family. And it's nice. It's really nice. But she said, in our household, Christmas Day is all about laying around in your pajamas, watching Christmas movies, and, playing with the stuff we got for Christmas. And I was like, you know what? That sounds amazing too. That would be amazing, just to have a day where you don't do anything. But in my family, it's always been like go, go, go. Like, we used to have Christmas Eve. We'd have a party. I remember when I was a kid, it would be Christmas Eve on my mom's side, then my dad's side. And then Christmas Day, same thing, is like you divide half and half. And now it's still it's a little less crazy. We have Christmas Eve at my house, and then we go to my friends for Christmas Day. But it's a little more relaxing. Christmas evening is always about going home and lounging around in new pajamas usually, and watching something on TV. Like, I still am in the mood for Christmas Eve and Christmas night. So yeah, it's about taking care of yourself, relaxing, rejuvenating, whatever it is that you need to do to take care of yourself, because the holidays should be a good thing, a fun time. It shouldn't be stressful. And if it's stressful for you, you need to think about, why is it stressful? What's causing you that stress? And you need to start getting rid of the sources of stress. We just had this last full moon. It was last night, the last full moon of 2019. And it's all about releasing things that really don't serve you and inviting new and better things into your life. So think about, what could you release this holiday season that's causing you stress? Are you overspending? Are you around people who are taking your energy? Like, what is it? Sit down and really think about it. And what can you do to make this holiday season one that's going to be so joyous and happy for you? Create your own traditions. What would it be? Would it be, some people go to the movies on Christmas Day. I mean, theaters are open. I don't know, whatever it is that really makes you happy and makes you enjoy the holiday, do that for you. Would it be baking with your kids? Would it be, having a celebration as you decorate the tree? What is it? What would make this holiday stand out for you? So then in years to come, when your family members talk about the holidays, they have all of these memories. Remember that time we did this? Remember when we did that? That was so much fun. Make it memorable, make it enjoyable, make it something that you treasure, because it's all about happiness and joy and celebration. It's not about spending money, wrapping presents, overextending yourself, having to go to 15 different places. It's not about that. So I would encourage you this holiday season to start creating traditions that you fall in love with, and start taking care of that inner child more, because this is a season of joy and new life, new beginnings, not dreading it, stress, crabbiness, whatever comes along with that. For me, one of the things that I started doing that just changed my life was shopping online. I hate going to the mall and to those places when it's crowded and Christmas time, and I just said, I'm not doing that anymore. Luckily, everything people want I can order online, because I just thought, I'm not fighting crowds, I'm not doing that. I am not one of those people who's like, yeah, it's Black Friday, I'm gonna go camp out at... No, that is not my idea of fun. I have never been a huge fan of shopping. It's not really something I enjoy, so I don't shop. Just don't do it. I shop online from my couch, and it's amazing. I love it, and I can price compare, and I can get exactly what I want. that was the thing that revolutionized Christmas for me, because I was like, yep, this is where it's all about. It's all about this, just being able to do this on my own time and not feel like I have to get out in the horrible crowds of the mall. Like, not doing it, don't have to, don't want to. So what can you do today to start making your holiday season just a little bit brighter? Taking care of yourself is one thing you definitely need to start doing. So start taking better care of yourself and make this holiday season all about joy and fun and laughter and relaxation. See what a difference your holiday becomes when you take care of yourself. All right, guys. Well, I wanted to pull a card for you before I left today. So the card that I pulled for you is from the Teachings of Abraham deck. And it's, what's my big hurry? It's all for joy, all is well. What's the big hurry? You're not ever going to get it done, so what are you racing toward? Every single activity that you're involved in is for one purpose only, and that is to give you a moment of joy. That's why it all exists. Lighten up, laugh more, appreciate more, all is well. I love that. I think that's perfect for this holiday season. Don't be in a hurry, slow down, take your time, enjoy life. Well, guys, I want to thank you for being with me. As always, if you like this podcast, please share it with others. Please subscribe. Please leave me reviews. That helps others to find me, and my mission is to help as many people heal as possible. I so appreciate all of you, and those of you who have already done this for me. Thank you so much. You have no idea what that means to me. And I want to thank you for following me. Don't forget to follow me on social media. I go live on Facebook Mondays at 5:30 Central and do a free card reading. And I also post videos to Instagram, so follow me on all social media forms. Also, if you want to work with me, there are so many ways you can work with me. I do past life regression, Reiki, coaching sessions, and readings. You can go to my website, melissaoatman.com, where you can see a description of the services that I offer and my pricing. And when you're ready to book, you can simply contact me and we can schedule your appointment. You can contact me many ways. All of my contact information is in the description to this podcast. And as you stop by my website, don't forget to subscribe to it, because when you do, you will receive a free morning and evening meditation. Well, thank you again for being here with me. I hope you have a wonderful day that is filled with blessings, and that you feel peace and you feel the love of the divine that is always radiating within you, and you know how truly powerful you are, and that you see all of the beauty of life around you. I hope you have a great day. I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.